That look just screams artist. I am a god. Baby, you're a star.
Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring MK11 Rain. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put MK11 Rain to the test. MK11 Rain guys is a pretty difficult character to get. He was released on the 31st of March 2021, and ever since then he was available I believe in 1 or 2 packs for souls with really bad chances to pull Rain, and of course with restrictions on the pack openings. So in a nutshell, MK11 Rain was almost exclusively available for money all the way up to the date when I am recording this video. So let's take a look at his stats. His attack is 57,456, which is the 7th highest in the game. The hit points, they are 105,984, which is the 9th highest in the game. So far so good for Rain. In both of his stats, attack and HP, he is in top 10. In addition, his toughness is 53,676, which is the 6th highest in the game, and the recovery is 53,676, which is the 7th highest in the game. The power generation is 120%. So for his stats, MK11 Rain is going to get the impressive 23.6 out of 28 possible points. Special 1 of MK11 Rain guys is called Treacherous Cut, and here it is what you need to know about it. First thing first, it is completely unblockable. Second thing, it has 2 debuffs. It has Bleed and Soak, which is awesome. In addition, unfortunately, since it's a grapple, it cannot be cast from distance. It is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the multi-tap circle as mini game. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 22,695, which is the 5th highest in the game, and the maximum damage is 37,825, which ranks 23rd highest in MK Mobile. Once again, the ability is completely unblockable. It has 2 debuffs, Soak and Bleed. It cannot be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the multi-tap circle as minigame. So for his special 1, MK11 Rain is going to get the impressive 13.3 out of 13 possible points. Special 2 of MK11 Rain guys is called Thunderous Rat, and here it is what you need to know about it. First thing first, unlike his special 1, this attack can be completely blocked by the enemy. It has Stun as debuff. It can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the single tap circle as mini game, which is awesome. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 53,587, which is the 12th highest in the game, and the maximum damage is 107,173, which is the 7th highest in the game. Once again, the special attack can be blocked by the enemy completely. It has Stun as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the single tap circle as minigame. So for his special 2, MK11 Rain is going to get 14.8 out of 19 possible points. And one more thing, you can actually lock your enemy in a stun loop using MK11 Rain special 2. However, I will give you more details how to do it in the basic attack section of this video, so stay tuned. And last, really last, this time I want to talk about the synergy between Special 2 and Special 1 of Rain in case you have cornered the enemy. If this is the situation, after the last mini hit of your Special 2, the enemy will be flying in the air, falling to the ground, and in this very moment you can do Special 1 to either intercept that process and grab the enemy midway in the air, or to grab him immediately after he has fallen to the ground. And that's pretty awesome way of chaining Rain Special 2 and Rain Special 1. The fatal blow of MK11 Rain, guys, is called Edenian Spikes, and it looks awesome. What you need to know about it is that first thing first, it has Team Bleed as debuff, and it can be cast from distance, and that's always good to know, especially when it comes to fatal blows. When it comes to damage, the damage of the fatal blow is 130,751, which is the 12th highest in MK Mobile. Once again, the fatal blow has Team Bleed as debuff, and it can be cast from distance. So for his third special ability, MK11 Rain is going to get the solid 3.6 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets for his special attacks adds up to 31.8 out of 36 possible. The basic attacks of MK11 Rain are not perfect, but they're definitely very good and at least above average. So let's first start by the negatives, and the first thing is that he definitely requires Block Breaker. Without Block Breaker, MK11 Rain cannot do anything, so make sure to give him such a piece, because without it you cannot really achieve great stuff with this character. In addition, his second combo ender, the one that pushes the enemies away, kind of destroys his basic attack chaining, so I would advise you not to use it. The way you use the basic attacks of Rain is the following: you do the first combo ender, then you start immediately doing the second one, then you are doing special 2 without using the second combo ender, and then repeat the process. This is the way you use his basic attacks, especially if you have cornered your opponent. If your enemy is cornered, then MK11 Rain has one of the best chainings in the game, thanks to the fact that he can simply lock enemies in a stun loop forever. And with that said, let me briefly mention another negative about his basic attacks, and it is the fact that he doesn't have any multi-hits. What I mean by that is, for instance, let's take a look at MK11 Jade. One of her combos involves her spinning her weapon, whatever, and in the process she is dealing many mini hits, which basically increases your chance to break the block. In the case of MK11 Rain, sadly he just throws a single punch once or twice or 3 times, so in a lot of cases this might result in you not being able to break the enemy block, and that's pretty sad. So with that said, I definitely believe that MK11 Rain is a very good, very decent fighter, and I'll be giving him 8 out of 10 possible points for his basic attacks. The passive of MK11 Rain, guys, is called Cloud Burst, and here it is what it does. I quote: MK11 Rain start the match with 1 bar of power. Rain has a 10% chance to immediately counterattack on opponent's basic attack. This counterattack applies the Soak debuff, which lasts for 20 seconds. All MK11 and Raiden teammates have 400% recovery even when Rain is defeated. Now, let's start by evaluating the passive, to dissect the passive part by part. The first thing is that Rain starts with 1 bar of power. That's always useful, especially against certain characters, such as, for example, MK11 Jade in survival mode. If you start with 1 bar of power and you give Rain, let's say, his... actually not his, you can give him the Rat Hammer, so that he can start with 2 bars of power and execute Jade, and that's really useful. The second thing, though, isn't that great. Rain has a 10% chance to immediately counterattack on opponent's basic attacks. It is good to have, but I really don't like passives that rely on you being hit or something, or blocking and stuff like this. And unfortunately, this part of MK11 Rain passive is all about blocking. Let's take a look at Classic Rain. He can soak on basic attacks combo enders. He has 20% chance to do that, but the important part is that you have to be on the offensive. You shouldn't be blocking. Once again, I'm not saying that I think it's total trash. I mean, I would love to have it if I have to choose this or nothing, but at the end of the day, I prefer passives that work when you are on the offensive. That's all I want to say. And the best thing about MK11 Rain is the synergy part, the last part of his passive. All MK11 and Raiden teammates have 400% recovery, even when Rain is defeated. Now, currently you're seeing footage of me testing this. Guys, if you take this part of his passive and you just replace it with MK11 characters and Raiden have regeneration when they are tagged out. That will be cool, right? Because the 400% recovery feels as strong as regeneration. It is awesome. I absolutely love it, and I will go even further by saying it's even better than regeneration in survival mode, because the regeneration effect is kind of not completely disabled, but its effect it's not really 100%. So this thing works amazing, especially if you further boost it by giving the teammates of Rain some other pieces that improve the recovery. In general, awesome, really awesome passive. Definitely I'm going to give it 20 out of 20. You shouldn't have any doubts when it comes to it. Now let's get into details. The point of this character by having Soak is that he can also do Team Soak. There is one big problem though. In order for him to do Team Soak, he requires to have his epic tower piece. Yes, that's right. Unfortunately, at Fusion 0 it's not enough, because the chance of doing Team Soak when you apply Soak is 20%. This basically means that if you have the Argus Cloak on MK11 Rain at Fusion 0, you have 20% to apply Team Soak when you're doing Special 1. If you have it at Fusion 10, you have 50% chance to apply Team Soak when you're doing Special 1. Why I'm saying that? Because if you manage to do Special 1, apply Team Soak, you have to remember that Special 2 of Rain is all about lightning, so you can destroy the entire enemy team while they're tagged out. Unfortunately, once again, in order to achieve that, you require an epic piece from a tower, preferably at pretty good fusion, and for instance Classic Rain doesn't require that. He can Team Soak without this piece of equipment, and he can still damage the entire enemy team. So in a nutshell, this passive is amazing. I really love it. The most beautiful part of it is that Rain is useful even at Fusion 0. He can Team Soak, he can apply Bleed on just one Special 1 that is unblockable, and the best part of it, the 400% recovery is simply awesome. It really feels like a regeneration, so yeah, incredible. And of course I have to mention the amazing synergy between Rain and Raiden. If you don't want to do Special 2 with Rain, just make sure that you are Team Soak, that the enemy team is Team Soak, then tag in Raiden, MK11 Raiden, and MK11 Raiden is going to absolutely kill them all. MK11 Raiden has one of the most destructive Special 2s in the game. As long as the enemy is not blocking, and as long as the team is Team Soak thanks to Rain, MK11 Rain is going to kill them all. It doesn't matter whether they're bosses or regular players in survival mode or faction wars. It doesn't matter, guys. So in a nutshell, at the beginning I decided to give you like 19.5 or something, but after I tested really the recovery effect, it is huge, guys. It is huge. So definitely 20 out of 20 points for Rain. He is just an outward character, so he actually gets 1 point for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Alright guys, it is time to decide whether Rain is a good character, whether Rain is a bad character, whether Rain is a great character. So as usual, we are going to take a look at the bigger picture. He has very good stats. Basically he's in top 10 everywhere when it comes to attack, hit points, toughness, recovery, and his power generation is 120%, which is also awesome. His special attacks are amazing. His special 1 has 2 debuffs, his special 2 deals insane amount of damage and stuns, and you can actually lock people in stun lock, and that's awesome. His X-ray is great, his passive is amazing, and his basic attacks are pretty good. So all in all, we have almost perfect character, and we can use this almost perfect character everywhere. He is great in survival mode, thanks to the fact that he boosts the recovery, and he's great even at Fusion 0. Of course, you have to make sure that he doesn't die to Tremor or Scorpion, classic Scorpion. You get what I mean, right? He's also amazing against bosses in boss fights, even at Fusion 0, because at Fusion 0 he can Team Soak, and after that Raiden can get the job done. Or if he's Fusion 10 in both survival mode and boss fights, basically he can Team Soak and then destroy people by putting them in stun lock, which basically means that he will be damaging the entire boss team or the entire enemy team in survival mode. All we know, amazing character. I really love him. There is one thing that I dislike about him. He is not classic Rain. And I have to get there, right? I have to compare those guys. Quite honestly, they are so different and so the same at the same time. Amazing guys. Both of them can be great at killing bosses. Both of them can be amazing at supports. There is one thing where really I believe classic Rain has an edge, if I have to be 100% objective, and that's Team Soaking. MK11 Rain can do it with only one specific piece, and only if you have it at high fusion, because let's face it, if you have the Argus Cloak at Fusion 1 and Fusion 2, you cannot really rely on it. I'm sorry, you have like 20-25% chance to Team Soak. that's not really great. Even now, when I have this piece maxed out, sometimes it took me like 4 or 5 attempts to Team Soak if I'm unlucky, and that's really not that reliable. While if I'm attempting the same using Classic Rain, I know that all I have to do is 2 special 2s, and that's insanely easy. Basically, if you take into consideration the fact that this guy can get up to 205% power generation. So incredibly easy to do special 2s with Classic Rain, and even if you don't have some fancy equipment, you can give him Rat Hammer and Bloody Voodoo, Bloody Tomahawk, and there you go, you can do 2 special 2s in a row, which will 99.9% guarantee that you're going to Team Soak, and that's incredible. But all in all, I reckon those guys are amazing, both Classic Rain and MK11 Rain, but I just feel that MK11 Rain is not my guy, so I'll be giving him 2 out of my 3 subjective points, and with them he's going to score 86.4, and we can label him as an amazing character. On our current rankings, guys, he's 7th, just above Dark Fate Terminator and just below MK11 Sub-Zero. So the final verdict for MK11 Rain is amazing character, and now it is time to take a look at your final verdict. Let's do it. Okay guys, it is time to decide what is your final verdict for Rain. And before we get there, I just want to let you know that if you want to vote for any further review I'm doing, you're welcome to join our Discord server and do so. You're going to find the link in order to join in the description of this video. Just copy it, paste it to your browser, and there you go, you will be in our Discord. With that said, 217 people voted for MK11 Rain, which is a new record high. And the average score is 8.51, which basically means that the final score according to you is 85.16. Actually, the biggest majority of you, 92, voted with a 9, and there were 2 people who voted with a 1. I mean, what can you do? And there will be always troll votes. But anyways, 85.16, which basically means that you and the Matrix agree, you both agree that this guy should be amazing character. According to the Matrix, he scored 86.4, according to you, he scored 85.1 or 2. It is almost the same. So the question is, which one is better? Is it Classic Rain or MK11 Rain? You know, I reckon both are great, but I'm more inclined to say that Classic Rain is better just because he appeals to me better, and quite honestly I believe that he is the better Team Soaker. Like, probably some of you will say, but if we have the Argus Cloak maxed, probably MK11 Rain is the better Team Soaker, and I still disagree. But let's face it, how many people ever are going to have this piece maxed out? I wouldn't say many. But I would never say that if a person is claiming that MK11 Rain is better than Classic Rain, that he's out of his mind. I would completely understand, because MK11 Rain is an excellent character, not going to lie. And on your current ranking, he's 4th. Basically, he's above Classic Rain, guys. Classic Rain scored 8.42 and MK11 Rain scored 8.51. So please let me know in the comment section, if you have both, which one do you like better and why. And let's go straight to the gameplay. Alright guys, we have to talk about MK11 Rain, whether he's a good or a bad opener. I reckon he's a decent opener. If you want to use him mainly for his special one as a fighter, this is still possible, even though I reckon that if you want to use him as a fighter, the way to go is special 2, but special 1 is also an option. Then you can give him the Devastator, just wreak havoc using his special 1. It's perfectly fine, especially if you have MK11 Raiden as your ally, so that you don't get power drained in the beginning. So MK11 Rain is quite a decent opener. When it comes to the characters that he counters, now, he's good against anybody. I cannot really think of a character that MK11 Rain counters heavily. And when it comes to the characters that counter him, again, probably MK11 Jade will be a difficult matchup if Rain doesn't have a lot of power, because basically he has to break her block, and if you do special 1, then the bleed is going to heal her. Also because he heavily relies on his special attacks. Assassin Jade can be a difficult matchup, but in general, again, I am not thinking of any guy who heavily counters MK11 Rain. Except for one guy, and this is Classic Smoke. And Classic Smoke in a classic team, because MK11 Rain relies heavily on his debuffs, on his stun, in order to lock people in stun lock, and on his special 1 debuff so that he can team soak or soak. And if he's facing classic team with classic smoke, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Basically, you don't want to use your special 2 because you might get stunned. You don't want to use his your special 1 because you can get soaked, and so on and so forth. I believe you got my idea. Now, in terms of the best items for this guy, if he's your starter, and you want to use his special 1 most of the time, then of course you have to give him the Devastator. He's going to be great with that. Also, if you happen to have his Argus Cloth, especially if it's maxed out, that's not a brainer, but still, the Divine Argus Cloth is amazing and a must for MK11 Rain. Also, if you want to use mainly his special 1, if you don't have this cloak, you can give him Shao Kahn Helmet. And another thing, you know that he actually applies bleed with his special 1, but the cool thing is that he applies the bleed before he actually deals the damage. So if you wanna play Rain mainly for his special 1, then a useful piece will be the Grim Essence. For one thing, it gives a 20% bonus to power generation, and it also gives 50% critical hit chance boost against enemies affected by bleed, which basically means that if you have Shao Kahn Helmet and this piece, you will be critting every single time when you're doing special 1, and that's awesome. If you wanna play Rain for his special 2, you require a piece that increases your power generation and a piece that reduces the power cost of special 2. Also, of course, in any single scenario, you require a block breaker, which is a must. And in terms of the teams, guys, I'm going to be Captain Obvious. Rain is great with another Rain. Rain is great in MK11 team. Any MK11 team will do. Rain is great with Raiden. Basically, that's it. Once again, let's repeat what we said. I really don't want to spend a lot of time here. MK11 Rain must be an MK11 team, or with Raidens, or with another Rain, which as of today is only classic Rain. So, basically, bottom line. Alright guys, MK11 Rain, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored 86.4 and we label him as an amazing character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. See you next time guys. Take care and stay safe.
Perfect. Perfect.